Some context, we've been together about a year. Recently my GF has been struggling with her friendships, and in the past few days her friend group has basically excluded her from hangouts and pretty much been avoiding her. She is very strongly opinionated and can get pretty intense while upset. Anyways, I've been hearing about this while it happens, and while the specifics are a bit long to get into, I think she's in the wrong, and I sort of understand why her friends were upset to begin with. Regardless, it all broke down tonight and she argued with them all and questioned their shunning behavior. As it happens, I'm talking to her all about it and OBV supporting her. I don't think I'd say anything because I'm not gonna take their side OFC. But I did think for a second if I should try and explain to her that their reasons for being upset sort of make sense. I didn't and prob won't. My questions is, what do I do in these kinds of situations? This is my first relationship, yay. TL. Doctor. I believe GF is in the wrong with her friends. Do I always take her side in these situations? Are you saying you're going to take your girlfriend's side every time, even if she's in the wrong? No, nothing so serious XD. I know the post wasn't very specific, but this is all about some childish drama. I probably should have been more specific. If it was something more serious, and for the sake of the other people, I would have said something. I don't think it applies here. If she's in the wrong, she needs to know it's not good for her to be told she's in the right if she's not. It's not easy to tell people they're wrong, and I don't recommend just blurting it out. But something neutral, like I see why you're upset, but I also see why your friends are upset is a pretty reasonable thing to say. Others might have other suggestions. But here's the thing op, you say she gets pretty intense while upset, and you're leaning pretty strongly towards not challenging her. It sounds like you're pretty sure she's going to get angry with you, unless you agree with her. If that's what's going on, that's not a good relationship to be in. I'd think more about how she acts and what that says about how she's likely to act in the future. Thank you for the advice. And you know I didn't even think about me not challenging her when writing this. That's something I'm gonna keep my eyes on and have a good thinking about. Again, thank you for the comment. I've been in this situation numerous times with my girlfriend. She is blatantly in the wrong, and I don't agree with her. My way of dealing with it is to not jump into the actual argument in front of the other people. Let her make her feelings known without interruption, so I'm not belittling her in front of anyone else. When we are entirely alone though, I will tell her that I disagree with her and explain how I interpret the other person's feelings. She seems to appreciate this way of doing things tbh. That's a good way to handle that. I'd be willing to try something like that, but I'm pretty certain it wouldn't be easy lol. I live next door to a person that is super overbearing. She constantly feels shunned by everyone and has even texted my wife, and at times, when we've had company about her not being invited. Be honest and open with your girlfriend. Don't let her turn into my neighbor. She should address her behavior and maybe seek counseling. Being young and a bit obnoxious can definitely cause a bit of a problem making friends, but if you get to be middle-aged and still act like that, you'll have little or no deep and meaningful connections to anyone. You know, you're probably right. What's funny is how much she's talked to me about emotional intelligence and its importance, but at times I feel she's so close-minded and only sees from her point of view. Anyways, thanks for comment. Let things blow over a little. If she's being excluded by her friend group, she must feel awful and isolated. But maybe later you can say something like, babe, I'm always here for you, and being excluded by your friends must suck. But do you see where they're coming from? I kind of understand them too. Can we discuss? I also think the user who pointed out you're afraid of her getting angry, and that she might be unable to accept being challenged, put their finger on it. She sounds like she still has a ton of growing up to do. That's good advice, thank you. Everyone has been very helpful and made me realize a few things. Thanks again for the comment. I have to take her side because she is my GF. No, you don't. You can disagree with her, you know. Just be mature and measured with how you discuss it. Maybe don't stand in her face, pointing a finger in front of her friends and shouting your thoughts at her, but in a more polite way. She might react badly, but then that's on her. Communication is the key to a good relationship. But then I'm 38 and single, so what the F*** do I know, eh? Pointing my finger and shouting my thoughts at her made me laugh, just imagining how strange that would be. XD. What you do is be honest with her. The more you cover her, when she's wrong she will seek you more in these events. You being honest may hurt her feelings, but she will recover from them. Don't take her side 100%. That's like someone explaining the reasons they cheated, and you are like, okay, let's continue. Don't be a simp. Best of luck, Zarkso. That's very good advice, Tism. Better to ask questions, to encourage reflection than just blindly agreeing. Supporting her and having understanding for her feelings doesn't mean you have to tell her she is right. You can absolutely abstain from having an opinion. You don't have to take her side. It's okay to tell her, you aren't right about this, and leave it at that. If *SHE* can't handle being wrong, she needs to figure out why she has such strong reactions to being wrong. She needs to be willing to learn that there's nothing wrong with being wrong every once in a while. If she refuses to ever admit she's wrong and destroys friendships because of that, it's a personality flaw, and that's not the kind of partner you want. It will only make life harder and more dramatic. Dude, when you see someone applying a behavior to others, lies, theft, etc., and think that they won't do it to you, you're out of touch. When someone tells you who they are, listen. How does one accidentally take a bra from someone's house? You tell it to her smoothing, when she's in a calmer mood, perhaps when some time has gone by, and only if she mentions it. You can say something like, you know, in a sense I think they were kinda right because. Don't do it now that emotions are hot, because she probably can't think straight about it. Do it later, when there's distance to the event, and only if it comes in the discussion. What I've done in those situations is to say your friends definitely overreacted like crazy, but I'm sure that you yourself know why they might have been upset with you. How about all of you talk through it and find out what exactly went wrong and apologize to one another and move on. You are new to this, just be honest with her. You don't want to be with someone long term that isn't going to be willing to accept critical and honest conversations from their trusted partner. Also, not being genuinely heard will eventually take a toll on you. It's better you establish a way of talking out disagreements when it is something minor and not having to do with your relationship than otherwise. To me, it's good to let your significant other know that you always have their back, but also let them know you disagree. Don't lie and say you agree when you don't, if you know what I mean. Here's what you owe to your girlfriend. 1. The benefit of the doubt. If you're not sure who's right, she gets your tentative support. 2. Full-throated support when you know she's right. Back her up even if it's awkward. Fight your grandma for her if your grandma *s in the wrong. 3. Doing what you can to mitigate her embarrassment when she's wrong. Talk to her privately, phrase things in a way that takes her feelings into account, but tell her when she's wrong. In this specific scenario, I would find the time later to say, hey, I think you misunderstood a bit what your friends were trying to communicate to you the other day. Obviously the shunning hurt your feelings, but I think you were wrong when you said /did X and Y, and they were trying to do /say A and B. It's hard, but I always appreciate when someone checks me gently, in private, when I can take time to process it. Bro, you need to stand your ground on what you feel is right and wrong early in a relationship, and forget what anyone says, including your GF. Next thing you know, she will be grind dancing on her friend's boyfriend at a party or club. Then when you express how upset you are by it and tell her it's wrong, she will call you insecure and controlling and rationalizing how it was just dancing. Of course her friend will be pissed too, so she will flip it and tell you that you are taking her friend's side, so why don't you just go sleep with her? Then of course she will come on Reddit or rant to her friends about how you never support her and always against her while leaving out important details and having people take her side. Run. Note, based on true events. You're young, so it's understandable that you're not sure how to handle conflict and why what you're doing is wrong. Anytime you avoid conflict because you're afraid of a negative response or lashing out from someone, you're violating your own boundaries. Going with the flow is easy in the short term, but disastrous in the long term. You're showing people you have no boundaries and they can walk all over you. If you think your GF is in the wrong, Just say so in a calm, non-accusatory way. Hey, I want you to know that I support you and care about your feelings, but I feel you made some mistakes with how you handled the situation with your friends. I don't want to see you lose your friends over this, and I'd like to help you sort this all out. But there's a really good chance she already knows she's in the wrong. If she lashes out, then maybe you'll see she's not right for you. You have to decide what kind of behavior is unacceptable for you. At 19 over 20 years old, you're supposed to be finding yourself and what you want in a relationship. You'll never figure out what your deal breakers are if you don't hold firm on your boundaries and hold people accountable for violating them. Don't avoid difficult conversations because you're afraid of someone else's reactions. No, you don't always take her side. However, you don't trash her or embarrass her in the moment either. There will be moments in any relationship where your partner, friend, loved one, etc. is in the wrong. Normally your best bet is to wait to share your differing view to when you and your partner or the person are alone. While in the moment, try not to take sides. You're not against them, but you're also not confirming their belief. In the moment responses, I think this is a difficult situation, and we may want to table for a second as it's getting heated, or hey, I get where everyone is coming from, but can we take a step back and look at this in X minutes? Let people cool down. Tabling is a great skill and allows people to relax and actually think without getting worked up. After the moment when a lone responses, I completely understand why you feel that way, but listening to everything, I don't think that this was the best way to go about this, or your feelings are valid, and I get it, but it's possible that there may be more to this. I've seen some behaviors that possibly led into this outcome, etc. Don't put blame directly on them, that doesn't help. But you can validate someone's feelings while also pointing out the problematic actions. Feelings are valid, actions have consequences. Be honest with her. If she gets upset, so be it. If she cares for you, she will get over it. My mother always said a good partner backs you up in public, but calls you out on your bullshit in private. I think you did the right thing to stand by her publicly to help her save face, but you should definitely tell her when she's in the wrong. Okay bro, first publicly you need to be on her side, right or wrong. If you think she is wrong, talk to her about it in private. Grats on your first relationship. Thank you sir. Take her side always. Blood ain't thicker than that A ***. Armin/J. If your girlfriend jumped off a bridge, would you follow her? Stand up for your morals and values, man. Just because she is your GF doesn't mean you need to agree with every word she says/thing she does. Very good point, thank you for the comment sir. Don't shut down her feelings. She's allowed to be hurt, but try to help her see the feelings of her friends. Spitball with her. Do you think maybe friends' feelings were hurt too? And encourage her to see her own actions as wrong. You definitely shouldn't encourage her by saying you think she's right. You need to have your own opinions about things, but at the same time you need to learn to navigate these things tactfully, so it doesn't turn into a us versus them situation and push her away. My partner is somewhat like that. He's very strongly opinionated and struggles to empathize with any other opinion that differs from his own. What works for me is I allow him the space to calm down first. When he is in a cool headspace, I patiently suggest to him to imagine himself to be in the other person's shoes and how he would feel if he was treated that way. It helps when I cite and compare relevant actual scenarios so he can see his thought process from another perspective. Sometimes it may be difficult because some people are just too used to looking at things only from their own lens. You'll have to understand that any shifting of mindset will be very gradual though, given that that's the way she had been thinking for the longest time, so patience and empathy are of utmost importance. Hi Opus. First, it sounds like you're a lovely boyfriend. You want to both support your girlfriend, but also do what's right. That's really commendable. I'm a lot like your girlfriend, so I understand how the intense opinions and tempestuousness can cause trouble for her in certain social situations. The thing is, while you're right that supporting your partner in public is a good thing, that doesn't mean you cannot have a gentle conversation with her in private to help her see their and your perspective a little better. Be kind if possible. Remind her that you love and respect her. Meet her halfway where you can, but be honest with her. In the long run you are doing her a *massive* disfavor if you shy away from difficult conversations with about her behavior to avoid conflict. You're her partner. If she cannot in private, when it's just the two of you, get an honest perspective from the person she trusts the most. How will she ever grow as a person, friend, and girlfriend? Thank you for the comment. I appreciate the advice. You're right, I should say something, so she doesn't keep repeating this behavior. I see KF people saying gee she's a thief, but seems like, if she paid for it which you clearly did she did then doesn't make much sense. Good on you for asking for advice, but also remember it's Reddit, so a lot of the people on here aren't very smart or just love to talk ******. What was she wrong about? She stole from a friend, and when called out about it, and given many chances to give the item back, she tried to keep it and give the friend money instead. She's not a person I'd want to be dating for sure. You don't have to cave every time something comes up. Tell her the truth. Tell her that you see what her friends are upset about. Tell her that they should talk to her as adults first, and that you understand she's hurt by their shunning. Who wouldn't be? And you're sorry she's hurt. But also ask if this is the first time these issues have arisen, and if they haven't have gone unresolved then it's no wonder things have gone how they did. Jumping on her bandwagon isn't supporting her, it's coddling her. It sounds like she's fucked up big time and now she has to sit with the consequences of her actions. If you blankly agree with her, even when you think she's wrong, you're not being honest with her, and you're not supporting her, you're just enabling her.